Thank you for being with us. Brandy, let me start with you, because this isn't, you often sort of, as I say, troll the underbelly of the internet to find these unusual conspiracy theories with which most of us never confront. But this one's actually out there. The Soros-picked, Soros-backed Alvin Bragg is sort of covering two racist things in one.
Yeah, so, like you said, Ali, George Soros, or the invocation of him, is just a really tried and true tactic of, people put the blame on him for everything under the sun, really. And it does tap into that, anti-Semitic conspiracy theory that Jewish people are controlling the world. A theory that, for what it's worth, Marjorie Taylor Greene spread on her Facebook page and in videos for a blog that she wrote on. And I just did a little look back, and I actually just wanted to see what people have blamed Soros for recently. And I found examples from the migrant caravan that was the boogeyman in 2018. He was blamed for that. He was blamed for the gun protests that high school students were engaging in after their schools were shot up in Florida. Rudy Giuliani blamed Soros for not being able to get out of Ukraine in 2019. And Trump said that Soros was behind the anti-Kavanaugh nomination to the Supreme Court. And so another interesting thing is I worked for Fox News in the early aughts, and I still remember that Glenn Beck had a program, and he would bring out this big blackboard, and he would have these crazy conspiracy theories spun up. And at the top of the pyramid always was George Soros. He actually had a special called George Soros, the Puppet Master, which again is this anti-Semitic trope. So you're right, it's not new, but it does have real consequences. This kind of language, it vilifies the Jewish community. We have seen direct targeted threats towards the Jewish community. In 2018 or 2019, we had a guy send pipe bombs to news organizations and George Soros. This kind of rhetoric can end in violence.
Vaughn, when you and I were together on Thursday night, we were reminiscing in between commercial breaks about some of the trips you've taken where you're out there talking on a very regular basis over the last few years to Trump supporters. And you were talking about the degree to which, even recently last weekend in Waco, Texas, this conspiracy theory stuff is embraced. This idea that Donald Trump is avenger and justice and retribution. Some of these followers really believe there's some kind of a war or some kind of a thing coming from the establishment, and Donald Trump is their warrior who will stand between the government and them.
Right, and it's because the right-wing elements of the internet are full with these conspiracy theories, but it's also legitimized in their eyes by the right-wing outlets that they watch. Not only Fox News, but also OAN, Newsmax, Right Side Broadcasting, and then they were propagated by the leader, Donald Trump here. And not only do we hear these in Waco, but, I think Brandy brought up the good point. I remember back in 2018 and those weeks before the 2018 midterm elections, it was the idea of the caravan, and that George Soros was somehow behind the funding of this caravan to take over as part of the Great Replacement theory. All of these conspiracies are intertwined with one another. And the latest attack that he is on is also against the judge who has been placed in charge of overseeing his case here, making direct attacks to
MSNBC is fake news.
This judge